First of all, I want to address my hat because I know some people probably looked at it real fast. Like, does that say what I think it does? Yes, it does. And it's very relevant for what we're talking about tonight because we grew up in the times where people could say whatever the hell they wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter where they was at. Any venue, any setting, it was, freedom of speech. I say what I want to. If you think it's funny, great. If you don't think it's funny, move on. You know what I'm saying? If you were shocked by it, then just put a sticker on my shit and don't buy it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I grew up, but that has a lot to do with what we're talking about today, which is cancel culture. The way y'all move now is when people say things and do things that people don't like now, they choose to not just make the personal decision to say I don't want to fuck with it. They choose, it's a whole culture now where everyone has to get on board to not like each other. And so that's what we're going to talk about today is cancel culture, kind of get into some of the people who were canceled. I don't know if they're canceled or not. We're going to talk about that.
It kind of comes in waves.
Yeah, I don't know. The attempted cancels, the potential cancels, the people who should be canceled. We just going to get into that. So make sure y'all get your comments in below. Let us know who you think should be canceled. Make sure y'all, chime in. Let us know.
Let's go! I've been there, I've done that. Hey, but what do I know? I wrote this and won that. Oh, but what do I know? I got degrees and went to school. But what do I know? Survived backstabbers and Judases. But what do I know? I've been out here, man. I've been doing it. Let's get to the dough. I've been showing it. I've been proving it. I'm ready to go. Discuss the what, whys, and who did it. Let's get to the show. This podcast just might be the go. Oh, but what do I know?
Hey y'all, what's up, man? Welcome to another episode of a What Do I Know podcast. It's your girl Rukus.
And your boy Trey Smith. And I would just like to say that I don't trust niggas on Facebook named Bad Tacos.
That's how we starting the season?
Hey, absolutely. Bad Tacos sets a bad example for the world to believe there's a such thing as bad tacos. Tacos are delicious all the time. You understand?
I'm not even going to make him go into that, guys. You'd have to go really deep into his bag of emotions and male vibrato and ego to understand why this is built up to what it has become. We're going to have to save that for an entirely different show. But anyway, as I was saying, welcome to But What Do I Know podcast. We are back for season 8 at the AHRR network. We're excited because we got a lot of bullshit for y'all this week, and a lot of real shit. So y'all can choose for yourself which category you would like to put those in. Tonight's topic is going to be funny, actually, to me, because of the fact that I know, once again, my point of view will be nothing like it should be for the topic that we're going to be talking about. Yeah, so just saying. So while we've been on break, one of the things that I've noticed is there's a rash of like people are more physical lately. It's a lot more fights, and it's a lot more anger, and it's a lot more of it being caught and shared on video and whatnot and on social media. And the main thing is not just that there's fighting, but there's a lot of men who are recording the fights and who are antagonizing the fights and sharing them on social media and whatnot. So I kind of want to talk about that a little bit. So I want y'all to chime in on what y'all feel the situation should be, because we're going to talk about when you should jump in. Right. Especially men, you know what I'm saying? When it actually is your job and whether or not it is your job to jump in to people's situations. So, all right. So first of all, before we get started, this whole expectation of men jumping in to break up fights and whatnot all goes back to, I think, chivalry. That's what I'm going to link it to. I mean, okay. You can say it's from somewhere else?
No, I mean, that's part of it. I guess it just depends on the scenario, to be honestly, as far as when you should or shouldn't, or, because I have a lot of different takes on it, and most of it is me speaking on what if scenarios, because I'm a changed man at this point. I mean, sometimes I wish a nigga would, but, for the most part, it's just a lot of what if scenarios for me at this point. Where you kind of just, you gotta bite the bullet on certain things that you may not want to bite the bullet on, so you just go, all right, fuck it, whatever.
Okay, all right, so I'm gonna say, he said this might be just based in bullshit, whatever. I'm gonna say it's based in chivalry because of the fact that how chivalry is defined and what's broken down as, right? So Oxford Dictionary says that chivalry is basically the group of expectations and characteristics that you expect for a knight to have, a man of high esteem is basically what they're saying. And they're saying that a man who is held basically as an ideal knight is someone who has courage, honor, courtesy, justice, and exhibits a readiness to help the weak. So when you keep that in mind, okay, we're going to move into a few scenarios with a few different fight scenarios, and we're going to talk about whether or not the chivalrous thing to do is to jump in, or whether or not chivalry is dead, and whether or not it doesn't even fucking apply anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So for you,
by that definition, that kind of changes everything. Okay. A little bit. What are you asking me as far as like, what do I think chivalry is, or just?
No, we just read the definition of what chivalry is. But saying with that being in mind, do you think chivalry is relevant in today's times? For one, I'm gonna ask you a two-part question. One, do you think it's relevant? And two, do you think it's gender neutral?
Oof. I do think it's relevant in today's times because you still have to uphold what those rules are as far as chivalry. As far as, if you're a man and you're courting a woman, or you want to show a woman that you mean her well, as far as making sure she's protected at all times. And that could be at any given moment. It could be, fighting, or the simplest thing as far as making sure you're closer to the curb than she is, giving her a jacket, anything along those lines. Mine is trying my food when you already ordered what the fuck you wanted. But that's my own bias, though. I'm sorry. But, you know what I mean?
So it sounds like dating. Chivalry is alive when dating. But when the situations that we're talking about today, as far as jumping in, chivalry, yeah, this is what we're gonna talk about. All right, so we're gonna talk about a few scenarios, and like I said, chime in, and we're gonna figure this out, y'all. So the very first one I want to dive into actually is local. Some of y'all who might have followed, you would have had to follow real fast, or you would have missed it. So there was, I don't know people that was in it. I don't really care to know who was in it. It's pointless, really moot for this conversation. But a video came out, and it was out for all of maybe 15 minutes before hundreds of people saw it, and the people who posted it was asked to take it down. So that's why we don't have it. That's why we're not showing it. They were asked to take it down. But in the video, it was a girl being jumped outside of one of the Denver clubs by a group of other girls. Now, I mean, she was holding her own. Old girl was.
The rest of y'all can't fight. That's unfortunate.
Like she was standing up after quite a few people was coming after her. So I mean, she was holding her own. So shout out to Shorty for that. But my whole thing is the video came from, clearly a man filmed it, and there was nothing but men heard in the background as far as like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying, and kind of doing that and whatnot with the fight. So and this fight went from 1-on-1 to 2-on-1 to 3-on-1 to 4, which is just ridiculous. And so some people were saying, Y'all is wrong as fuck for letting that go down. You should have jumped in. Just because you're men, y'all shouldn't have let them fight. With that being said, with that first dynamic, we're going to break that one down first.
Right.
As a man watching a random group of women fighting, do you feel it is your job to break them up? And if so, at what point?
To some point, yes. I think it's a point where you can look at a fight and know like when it's gone too far and be like, all right, y'all, come on, let's nip this in the bud, because you want to try to be mindful of that. But at the same time, no, not necessarily at the same time, but you want to be mindful of that and try to break it up and nip it in the bud. But at the same time, I come from a point in time where there was no filming the fight. If you was there and you knew what happened, that's different. But filming the fight and a bunch of dudes sitting around, I feel like that's some weird shit to me still. But it, of course.
So don't film it. Don't break it up, but don't film it. So no fingerprints, no evidence, but don't break it up.
No. I'm not saying don't break it up. At some point in time, if we can tell when a fight has gotten out of hand, and you should probably step in and go, all right, man, let's come on, knock it off. But to just sit there the whole time and be like, ain't none of my business, that's crazy. And I know we live in a lot of times where we don't trust what could happen after that. You know what I mean? Because you might go to break up some fights, some girl swing on you. As a man, it's your instinct to be like, I ain't want to swing on her, but I'm going to hit her ass back. Now you got whoever looking for you and wanting to do something to you. But, it's a lot of factors that come into it. But at that time, I feel like there should be a point in time that you put your phone down and do something and say, hey, enough is enough. Y'all going to break this shit up. Because, and that also comes into my idea of like we fucking up our own opportunities and events and things to do out here. Is we got to knock this shit off. So I think as men, we should be the first ones to step in and be like, hey, this ain't it. Y'all take this shit somewhere else. You know what I mean? So
that's what's up. And I appreciate hearing that from a man, because my point of view in this particular scenario would be, let the hoes fight, man. You know what I'm saying? If they are already out acting like some savages, I'm gonna let your ass go ahead and act as such. So I'm from the thing, as long as it's fair ones, you know what I'm saying? Like fair ones should be fair ones. Yes, it shouldn't be nobody jumping on somebody. Once you jump someone, you've already lost the fight. That's the most bitch made move you could ever do, is to jump somebody, and when it's one-on-one, that shit's whack. That's bad, but it's pretty much as bad as pulling out a weapon to do your shit for you, because either way it's a bitch move. But jumping is horrible for you and everyone who got involved on that part. It just shows that you can't hold your own. But as far as whether or not you jump in, me being a woman with a brother, I'll be damned if my brother loses his life or limb fucking around with some hoes that he don't know. So I'm gonna need if my brother jumps in or involved anything or breaks up anyone, not knowing what's gonna come out, whether or not this person's gonna shoot, whether they're gonna stab, or whatever's gonna happen with him, before he intervenes, it better be blood. It better be somebody that's pretty damn serious to our bloodline or family in order for him to take thing in that. So you have close friends, maybe, but you some randos, let them hoes fight. Let not for people you don't know. And I get it, and that's why I said my opinion is probably going to be different. Yes, as a people in the culture, I see it, and in certain scenarios where I feel like it should be broken up, and we're going to talk about it. But in a situation where it's a bunch of randos fighting, let them hoes fight. Let them hoes fight. Unless it's a situation where I think it went too far when it became several on one. Now, that's the one time when I'm like, hey, somebody should do something. And then not just the men. It was a lot of women out there in the parking lot as well. So like I said, I don't fault the men in this scenario for them not breaking it up. I fault everybody in the parking lot who watched that go down. That shit was whack. I fault our fucking friends. Where were your friends? Like for women. When it's a situation where it's a bunch of hoes jumping on one female, I'm mad at her friends first. You know what I'm saying? Like, how in the fuck did that possibly go down for you to allow your homegirl to be out there in any situation by herself? So that's where I'm at. The men are last on the priority list of who should have broke that up in my opinion. But yeah, somebody should have done something when it became several people on one.
And I think that makes it different, like especially when it's like a family affair. everybody's getting yanked the fuck up as far as family goes. I don't give a fuck if you're a woman, whoever, whatever you claim to be. If it's a situation where
did you say whatever you claim to be?
Whatever you claim to be. Whatever the situation is, if it's something where, okay, I'm the oldest of all my siblings, and I mostly have sisters. But if one of my sisters is getting jumped, you bet your ass you getting your hair yanked up by like, we ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Nope. And me personally, I've already made it up in my mind. I'm gonna deal with the consequence afterwards.
See, and that's another thing that men have to worry about in these situations. Everybody jumped on people like, y'all didn't get in it. But what if they did? What if that man would have jumped in and slang one of them hoes on the ground real hard? Oh,
I've seen it.
Just hard enough for, her bra to come undone, her whatever to come out, her hair, whatever to come in. So now he's guilty of assault, battery. So now he's got to worry about catching some kind of weird extra charge because he called himself in somebody else's bullshit. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know.
I think that's the fucked up part about it is you do have to, at that point in time, take a deep breath and be like, all right, fuck it, here we go. And just do what you got to do and deal with it afterwards. Now, of course, you could tell your family and your friends like, hey, that was some bullshit you got in. If you feel that way. If you feel like it was some bullshit you got put into, absolutely express it. But at the moment, if I see my sisters getting jumped, nah, someone's getting yanked up by the hair like, hey, this ain't it. We not letting that happen.
That's what's up. So in this case, I was gonna ask. So in that case, is there a pass? Is there a brief circumstantial pass for men putting their hands on women?
Yeah, you're not gonna jump my girlfriend. You're not gonna jump my sister. It's my homegirl. Whoever. If Rukus is somewhere getting jumped, and she ain't that type of person, she don't move that way.
I wish your motherfucker would.
First of all, more than like we carry, so we'll air this bitch out probably. But I'm saying, if ever the circumstance came to that, naturally, I'm gonna be like, nope, this ain't it. Move. Y'all gonna if there's somebody who wants to shoot the fair one, cool, shoot the fair one. But
see, because what's sad is I know if I ever get into some kind of confrontation, they're gonna have to jump me. that's the sad part. I know it's gonna have to be several motherfuckers to help this one person because ain't no one bitch in their right mind about to run up on me. I'm just saying, if you don't know about me, ask about me. One bitch ain't gonna do it.
If your homegirl get knocked out, your homegirl just get knocked out. Don't run up after your homegirl get knocked out. That makes it awkward.
Man, I was gonna get done up, but I couldn't find out where to put it, and it still looked right. I swear to God, I was gonna get it done. But anywho's back on topic. We are talking about fights and when men are supposed to get involved. Men specifically, because this was the pattern of what I was seeing is men being blamed for their failure to get involved with a lot of these things. Mm-hmm. So hey y'all, hey Andy, hey Robbie, what's up? Amber, what's good? What's going on? So, all right, so it was another clip that we had, and there's a lot of these clips where what's messed up is we had a whole list of clips that we was gonna provide for y'all while we talked about this topic because we've seen so many of them. We're just making notes and we sent them off, and then some of them we forgot to send, but by the time we got here today, the R had to try to locate all the videos that we couldn't really find like that. So they just kind of Googled the topic, and damn it, if there wasn't so many that we couldn't narrow down the videos that we was looking for. So unfortunately, like I said, y'all done lost y'all's mind out here. y'all are doing too much. So anyways, the next one we were going to talk about is there was one of thousands, evidently, a video of some students fighting, and it was down south. You know what I'm saying? It was one of the southern schools, and the teacher, black woman, was watching several students fight, and she just let them fight. The students it became like a knockdown, drag out, MMA style fighting. You know what I'm saying? And so the teacher was just kind of just watching, and people looking at the teacher like, break it up. You should break it up. You know what I mean? And she just stood there and watched. And so now I'm gonna pose this question to y'all as far as jumping in: are teachers obligated to break up their students when fighting? Do they have is it their job and their role to jump in?
I won't say, by the book, it's their role. Unfortunately, we live in a time where, they have to. And it's scary. I understand it's scary and dangerous for them. I have friends and peers who, work at the high schools and the middle schools and so forth, and have had incidents where they've had to break up stuff, and you look up and the kid has a gun, and they might have to tackle him to stop him from doing something extreme or anything like that. So yeah, by the book, definitely they shouldn't have to, but we, especially with a lot of everything that's happened in DPS recently, we understand why there's not on-site police officers or campus monitors or security like that. So I think it's messed up that right now they're at a point where they have to intervene, but they shouldn't have to. There should be people there at this point where they can step in and do so.
I brought this video up for a reason because the female teacher did not do anything to break it up. 2 male teachers came and saw the fight still going on. They saw 4 more students get involved. So now this is the fight where it's like 6-on-6 type. It was crazy. You know what I mean? It was starting to come into like a small riot. 2 male teachers came, also stood next to the female teacher and did nothing.
Okay, now that's different. That's different. As the men, they definitely should have stepped in. It shouldn't be.
So this is a gender thing. So this is where
I believe
women are expected.
I do believe so on this one. I believe, especially first of all, in boys in the South is already built like 24-year-old NFL players. Okay, so I can understand her not jumping in because she's probably like, these are some big motherfuckers. They gonna hurt me. But the men should have definitely been. These is little boys fighting. So the men definitely should have. Hey, break this up.
It started with girls. It was 2 girls at first, and then 2 more girls, and then something happened where I think a boy got hit just by bystander type shit being around, and kind of like you said, he responds because he gets hit. Somebody else responds to him hitting somebody else, and it just becomes outright. Yeah, it just got crazy.
I forgot about the whole. It started with
the girls, and then when the female
she could have de-escalated it then. She definitely could have stepped in. And again, I guess that depends on the circumstances of the school, because again, you do have certain places where they don't have the campus monitors anymore. They don't have the security and the on-site police officers. So it's not part of their job. They should, but I can understand why she wouldn't, because by the book again, it ain't her job to do so. But it's like,
right.
And maybe that's just a self thing that you have to do as far as a responsibility to go, fuck, all right, let me go ahead and jump in.
Educators, chime in. Men, women, educators, let us know how y'all feel about it. As far as when students are fighting in your classroom or in your presence, do you feel like it is your job to get between them and physically break that up, restrain that from going on? Please let us know. Chime in below. Once Indy says it's their job to bring order back to the classroom. So yes, she said it is their job to break up the fights, because it's their job to bring order back to the classroom. So there's that. That's why I'm not an educator. I don't like kids. I barely like my own kids. Like my own kids was surprised. So I mean, I don't. I teach. The classes that I teach are to go in and immediately tell kids what's different in society. I love the topics that I teach. I teach diversity, equity, inclusion, the realness of life, so they understand cultural differences and how you actually move around society to get along with people. So I teach realness. So I enjoy that. But so as far as them fighting and all that, they usually respect me because I get to come in there as a real person and they know who they're dealing with. But I couldn't do it. Like y'all kids would be getting cussed. Let them, man. When kids get ornery and all that stuff, and kids cussing. It was a girl that was yelling at a teacher and put her hands on her and all that stuff, and the teacher didn't do anything back. And I'm like, yeah, see, that's not me. That's why I'm not meant to do that. I'm meant to pop up and do seminars. I'm not to be an everyday educator, because I'll shake the shit out of one of y'all's kids. At minimum.
With that being said, I can 100% understand why my mother was like, I'm not going down this education route. She has the degrees and all of it, but I can understand why she decided not to go that route. Part of it is because my mom often wishes. I've seen my mom fight grown men and win. So your kids is no exception. And then plus me, my mother couldn't be working at no high school and somebody done ran up and swung on my mother and acted ass, because I don't have the patience for your kids.
That's when
I have the patience for mine. Your kids, not my fucking problem. And I'm the type of person that would show up, bust your kid's ass, and then be like, go get your parents. I'm okay with that.
So we're going to come back to that and put a pin in that.
Yeah, definitely.
What he's talking about is jumping in / retaliation. And we're going to get back to that. And we're going to talk about that before we get into our last segment. But that's kind of what I wanted to talk to y'all about, as far as who we are going to get in that dynamic too. Who is obligated to break up fights when they happen? Like, when you really look, like, people were really charging these men like, this is your job. You fucked up by not doing what you were supposed to do as a man and breaking up these fights.
It's really it's really not any of our jobs. Someone has to be the voice of reason at some point, but we're not and none of us are obligated to actually be that voice of reason. But somebody has to at some point, man. And it's tough to make that call.
We have one of the fights. They should be. I think it's playing in the background now. So we were actually able to get some kind of footage of one of the fights. The reason that this one's important is this fight is two girls fighting, and it's nothing but man. It's men recording it. It's a man recording it. He's walking around talking about the fight. There's people sitting around watching the girls fight. All you hear is ooh, damn, beat her ass. Oh my god. And it's like nobody thought it was a good idea to break up this fight. Like he's in the camera, like boom, these bitches fighting. He's filming the fight. Like okay, it's a girl who's stretched out at some point. Like she's KO'd. Like it's like the girl is just still just hitting her upside the head, and the other girl is KO'd, and the men just still recording it. And just laughing and just.
Now I can say that's the intervene moment. Like, dude, she's out. Stop.
Yeah.
Because if you take it too far, then what? You just took it too far, and you got a whole other charge instead of you just beat her ass. Like, okay, that one I will say yes, intervene. If someone is out, that's the end of the fight, and then maybe that's just me trying to do the honorable thing or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
But if someone is out, that's it. You ain't got to do all that extra shit and stomp a motherfucker out, and now you in the. You damn near got a murder charge because you done went too far. Like, nah.
That's why I don't fight. I swear to God, I go black. I black the fuck out. Like, I've been to jail every fight I've ever got in. Like, I swear to God, like I just been like, I have never been in a fight that didn't end up with me in handcuffs. I'm like, oh my God.
I could say
it's all bad. It's all bad. It's like keep your hands to yourself. I'm one of them blackout people.
Yeah, I could say the one time I went too far was, me and my friends are at a party and. I don't know where the argument came between the girl and one of my friends, but I do know that Buddy felt like his cousin was called out her name. Next thing you know, the guy's talking about he's going to the car to get his K. That we heard that and was like, oh, AK? Absolutely not. And of course we were like, we're going to stomp this guy out until he can't get up. Like, because if he gets up, he gets to go to the car and get his AK. So
The last video, because we got to pay some people, but the last video that we wanted to share with y'all that we couldn't narrow it down, we tried to Google it because it brought up 1,000 Popeye cases and some other stuff, it was a fight at a chicken restaurant, y'all. It wasn't Popeye's, but it was some kind of fancy, if you will, chicken restaurant. And the woman pulled up and she was trying to get the side chick out of the family car. I guess dude was cheating and she saw him. The chick was out with the 4 kids. It was a whole family outing and she pulled up to him with the girl and her 4 kids in their car. So of course she starts pulling, get the kids out the car. She's doing this, that, the third. So the women wind up fighting. One girl's mad that the other chick swung on her in front of her kids. And so now she wants to fight because the chick swung on her in front of her kids. So that she turned up to not 20 notches because the kids was present when the girl tried to fight her. So in this situation, you have a bunch of people because one woman is randomly holding the kid because all the kids is thrown out the car. Mind you, one of the babies can't walk. He's in a car seat. They didn't put the baby out the car on the floor. They put the baby off the car seat in the floor of the car. So the baby's just sitting on the floor in the car. And somebody went ahead and grabbed him and she's holding him like, hey, I got the baby. You know what I mean? I got the baby. So she's holding the thing, recording everything like, what y'all want me to do with the baby? So, so she's like, and the kids, they over there fighting them and the other kids screaming, mama, this, that, the third. The ones who are of age who know what's going on is crying and screaming for their mama. The one who don't know anything is just in the arms of a stranger while she asks people, what you want me to do with this baby? So in the meanwhile, her brother comes and he breaks up everything, or she's trying to get in the middle of everything, and he's sitting there yelling at the men, what the fuck is y'all doing? We are men. This is our job. Break this shit up. Don't just stand there watching, nigga. Break this shit up is what he was saying to all the men who were standing around watching this go on. So that fight was to put everything into a little bit of perspective that, yeah, there are still some situations where men are still expected to break things up. We're going to come back and still continue to talk about this. Plus, we got to talk about, we got a new advice segment, and y'all sent some questions to me that are outrageous, but we're going to address the ones that you guys asked me about whether or not a threesome is a good idea. We're going to pay some bills and come right back, y'all. Hi, y'all. What's up? Thank y'all for joining me and whatnot. Those who are live on RUKUS' page and whatnot. Well, we doing the What Do I Know podcast. We're live on the R Network. If you're not following me on this page, please make sure that you are.
Man, all money in. You know, stack, save. Look towards the future. Don't think of just right now. You know, we quick to just want it right now. You know, not only that, don't rush to get it. Put your plans and your goals in motion, and then you'll see it through. Oh man, that's most important, especially when you start getting older, because we don't realize like a lot of the things that we digested when we was younger really shows and comes and hits you when you get a little older. You know what I mean? We have this stigma when we're young and growing up in the urban community that we probably won't see 21 or we won't see 30. You know what I mean? So we don't look that far down. You know what I mean? So I think at 16, I would tell myself, man, take it easy. Don't put so much stress on myself at a young age, and to know that I'm gonna make it to be 30 and 40 and 50 years old.
We'll be very unstoppable if we come on together and do everything as one. And it'll be something that'll be very, very amazing to see if that ever happens. If everybody comes together as one and just put all the bad things aside and just focus on the main goal, which is to make our community better. So.
What type of physical health advice do you wish that you had at a younger age that you could still have today?
I would say to continue to move every day for at least 30 minutes and eat food in moderation. Be healthy. Eat your vegetables. Eat your vegetables, especially the green ones. They're good for you.
You heard it here first. 30 minutes a day, exercise, get moving,
Right.
but eat them veggies. If you're not eating them veggies, that movement's not going to do nothing, no good for you.
That's right, because 80% of losing weight and being healthy is your diet. You can't outwork a bad diet.
Ooh.
Hey y'all, welcome back. Throw it off. There we go. Welcome back to the What Do I Know podcast, y'all. Thank you very much for holding. We had to pay some bills, so welcome back to those who waited. Welcome to the show for those who just tuning in. So the segment we just discussed was whether or not it's okay to jump in, mostly for men. Like, when is it okay for you to actually jump into these situations? Because we're hearing a lot about men who are being told that they're not breaking up fights and getting involved in things when they should actually be doing so. So my stance, and I'm going to pretty much leave it at this because I want to dive into this next topic, and I believe it's going to take us this entire segment to cover it. So as far as jumping in and whatnot, and this goes for men, women, for me it's gender neutral. As far as jumping in, don't jump in if it ain't your kin, nigga. That's how I feel about it. Leave it alone. Don't say shit. Don't bother it. If people's fighting, I wouldn't bother it unless it's your family just fighting. Let them fight. Unless extenuating circumstances such as someone getting jumped, someone getting knocked out, children being present.
Yeah,
Those things are kind of like that you could kind of draw the
agree.
line on how to behave when those three things are occurring. Otherwise, I'm going to ask that everybody leave this shit alone unless that's actually your family. You really have a lot to lose by getting in peaceful personal problems. We've seen that physically. We've seen that hell social media-wise. We've seen people just this week involved in a bunch of bullshit just for liking and commenting. Guys, just mind your fucking business. Just stay the fuck out of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of where it's at right now on that. You got any thoughts on that before we move on to the next?
I mean, for me, it's very, very simple. If it's my family, that's your ass. I'm gender neutral as well. Not even Jesus himself could stop me if it's my family. Jesus can intervene like, hey, my son, and I'd be like, you might want to get your hands off me, Jack. But other than that, yeah, I 100% agree with her.
All right. That's what's up. So we gonna dive into what y'all actually came to talk about, and that's when we talk about what the fun shit, because this is the fun shit podcast. I heard what y'all say about us behind our backs. But anyway, so we decided. Well, R challenged everybody with coming up with some new segments to have for their shows. But what do I know? I mean, what goes better than advice? You know what I'm saying? So I kind of threw out there that I was going to be leaving my inbox open for questions. I mean, y'all ask random shit anyway, so it actually wasn't that hard. And it's still open. Shoot them to me if you need to, and I'll be happy to address them anonymously on the show. But anyways, the question that I got is it a good idea to do a threesome? Or is a threesome a good idea? So, that is funny. I'm sorry, that graphic. Stop it. There's got jokes back there. As far as I am concerned, all right, Indy already said, I'm going to tell this out the gate. Indy already addressed something that most women say out the gate. I don't like to share. It's a no. That's an absolute no-go for me. So if you are one of those people who do not like to share, then hell no. A threesome is a terrible, terrible idea for you, because more than likely it's a one-sided thing, and it's not a fun thing unless everybody's happy. With that being said, also, threesomes are not a fun thing unless everybody's happy. If you are a pillow princess, don't bring your ass trying to involve yourself in the party. So for those who are not aware of some of these phrases, a pillow princess is someone who is willing to sleep with a woman, however, she does not return head. So no, that's not what a threesome is about. Threesome means everyone is servicing everyone. So that's not a good look. It's not cool. Essentially, usually when that's happening, for the ladies who are not aware, if there's someone who comes to the bedroom, if your man is pressing for a threesome and the person who joins you is a pillow princess, more than likely that was some shit where they was just trying to fuck and you was just kind of a third leg that had to be added to the equation. She's not really trying to fuck with you like that. However, her being around still gives them basically you're a fucking cuckold. Just saying, that's pretty much what you are. You are there to assist them fuck each other.
I just learned something new today. I didn't know that's what a pillow princess. I just saw pillow princess mean you niggas talk too much. Did not know that. So I got educated. Thank you, Rukus.
You are very welcome. That's what we're here about. But what do I know? We like to tell you something. And if I know anything, it's about threesomes. Pause. All right, so
I'm gonna let you go because my threesomes weren't very great, man.
I mean, I've had bad ones. I've had bad ones, but usually he had to tell me that she was bad. It really wasn't something that I really knew how bad it was, because I'm not sleeping with the woman. I don't have the same expectations as he has.
I mean, I won't say my first one was bad. I'll just say it was a lot of work, because to me, in my mind, after switching condoms to fuck on the other person for the 5th, 6th time, in my mind, I'm like, God damn, do you motherfuckers trust one another or not? So that one was, my next one, I guess it was me dealing with someone, and they didn't want me to fuck on the friend. And the friend was like, well, why can't he? And I'm like, again, I was caught in a situation of, do you motherfuckers trust one another or not? So it wasn't as great as I thought it should be. Maybe, that's just my experience up to now.
It sounds like it was your participants. The problem is definitely your participants. So here's the thing. With a threesome, I do not recommend threesomes unless the woman is bisexual. That is a strong, unless your woman is bisexual, I strongly do not recommend threesomes. Now, if she is, great. That's fun, because it'll be fun for you both. But if not, that will be the beginning of the end for you. I'm just saying, it's a problem. Also, if you love someone to the point where you can't share, then that's probably, again, that's not a threesome. Threesomes are fun when you trust that person, but you're not so emotionally involved that you're upset by seeing them with someone else. You know what I'm saying? Like my threesome friend, we have an understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're cool. Like, I get it. That's not my dude. I'm not his girl, but we have a trust factor. We understand, exactly. we know everything is cool. We're not tripping like that. I would never blow up his spot. He would never blow up. But those are the kind of things you need before you start inviting outside people into what you are doing.
I completely agree.
Yeah, it's definitely a comfort thing. It is a trust thing. Definitely threesomes with people you trust. Probably not threesomes with people you love. Because it's gonna get complicated. It always gets complicated once emotions get involved.
I do agree, and it's just, and I think for that, like she said, it's something where you have to be bisexual. So I've said respectably to women who've wanted to do that with me, I wouldn't want to do it with another dude in the room. So it's not biased. And I've the fact that I even have to have that conversation and say, well, you like women, so this works. You like men and women, so this would work. Another man in the room, I don't like men, so it's not gonna work the same. Another man's gonna come in the room and his dick out, and my dick's gonna be like, kryptonite, we're out of here. And I'm like, oh well, y'all two could probably fuck. I'm gonna go ahead and go. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just a thing where it has to be all of that understanding. I know for a fact in my heart of hearts, you're not gonna get no performance out of me if another dude is in the room, because I'm not attracted to dudes.
It's still on my bucket list. I haven't done the MMF threesome or what is that, MFM, whatever you call it. I haven't done that one yet. Typically the ones I do are with women. Well, but again, I deal with women who like women. Like if there is a woman who presented herself with some pillow princess type shit, then she has never been invited back. And for us, you know, for me and the dude I do threesomes with, that shit's a punishment. That shit is we are dope as shit, and together we are fucking fire. And to not be able to sleep with us, especially at the same time, is a punishment. Like, for sure. And for anyone out there who's only got that one good time with us, because you are terrible. See, now, so I'm not gonna say that. That's not true. We probably just ain't made it back to you, but you know, inbox me.
See, now I don't know if I want a relationship or a friend to have threesomes with. Like,
you want a friend to have threesomes with? Like, keep in mind, I am someone who was in a relationship. Like, so here's the thing. I started off when I got married before. You know what I'm saying? Our relationship started off where I was getting over some traumatic shit, so I was really like finally learning to live my life sexually. Like, I was just learning myself in my late 30s because of some traumatic shit I've been dealing with my whole life. So going into this with my ex, he caught me at the height of me finding out that I was bisexual. So I was with women. I was down for sharing him because I didn't think we was going nowhere. So I was definitely, when we went into it, like, hell yeah, share this nigga. The fuck? I don't give a fuck. Fast forward to us getting engaged in some more shit, and he was the one who was like, I'm not with this. I don't like this. Because the women, like, because I had girlfriends, and the girlfriends were, you know, were in the picture, and they were around. We got pregnant. When I got pregnant with my girlfriend, I have a baby mama. She was there, and she helped me get pregnant. And so she was around a lot during the pregnancy, and so he was just kind of upset and was like, I can't deal with this whole threesome thing. So like I said, everything's all good until emotions get involved. So like I said, but we used to have the time of our lives and stuff. But again, that's when I didn't know that we was gonna be shit. Again, I just thought that was some nigga I met on Facebook. We was about to have a fucking ball.
Yeah, I can admit that. Like, if I know like it's something serious with you and I feel a way about you, I ain't gonna want to share you. But I know if we just having a good time together, we buddy and all that, and we just, hey, you like her? Yeah, and me and you decide that's what it is. Cool, that's what it is. But I know I can say, for me personally, if emotions is involved and I really care about your well-being and want to see this progress somewhere, we probably not gonna get into no wild shit together.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, and that is also why I will be single for the rest of my life. I'm trying to turn up. I'll be turned for the rest. I done already been there, done that. I did not even. No. Like I said, I figured out who I was too late in life to really. I can't stop now. It is what it is. Like, I've learned who I am. I know what I like. It is what it is. And at this point, I've learned marriage is for me. That ain't gonna happen. I enjoy being single. I do better being single. I have more fun living this lifestyle. So with that being the case, I'm enjoying myself. I am enjoying myself a lot. I think there is nothing better than being able to be single and be free, as long as you're safe with it. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing with threesomes. Some of y'all out there ain't safe. Y'all don't really pay attention to who you dealing with. And like I said, the person that I said I deal with this is a person. I have one person. I turn up. One person. I'm not out there acting the ass with every Tom, Dick, and Harry for lack of names and shit.
Where did he find another one?
I don't know. That shit is funny as hell. These finger pictures are cracking me up. But I'm just saying, like, you gotta find somebody you trust and someone that, because that shit is scary and is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? It really is dangerous once you start inviting someone else into what y'all do. If you single and you move like that, then you're inviting them and what they do and what they do and what they do into what you do.
That's way different. A lot of y'all don't pay attention to the signs. There's motherfuckers out here that, and this should be a blatant ass sign to a lot of you, okay? If someone is offended by you asking, hey, before we do this, I think we should get tested. If they get offended, and that's man or woman or whoever, whatever your sexuality is, if someone is offended by that, that's a clear-cut sign you probably shouldn't move in that direction. Don't think with your vagina, your penis, or whatever. Don't think with that in that moment. That's the moment that you need to be like, nah. Like, understand when you're dealing with somebody in that sense, what are your boundaries and what are the things that are going to make you comfortable with that? And if someone can't respect that, trust me, there's other people out there that are with that.
Yeah.
But please don't get to thinking with your dick or whatever and, hey, I think we should get tested. What? Why? Ooh. Whoa.
As far as the good idea with threesomes, it's a lot more that happens after the threesome, at least potentially. So, a friend of mine got pregnant during her threesome.
Oh.
Right. So that's what they had to deal with, her and the woman and the person that she slept. They was a couple. She was playing unicorn joining somebody else's couple shit. So they done got the extra chick pregnant during the threesome. So it's kind of like, if y'all trust each other to be without protection, okay, great. But you might want to come up with a different rule as far as copulating with the third party. You know what I mean? Like, you may not want to finish with the third party. You may want to have some other rules for things like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, rules and boundaries are a major, major thing. So people trying to figure out whether or not it's a good idea to have a threesome, it depends on your rules. It depends on you. For me, it's a great idea, but it depends on who it's with. It depends on who's there. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with yours. You said yours were bad.
Yeah, and I think it's just, again, because it's a trust factor. The first one, again, like, for me to have to swap condoms so many times, like, first of all, we done all had our mouths on one another in a whole other way, so now we don't trust each other. Like, so you're saying a threesome is best if you trust enough to not have to use prophylactics? I mean, it's just a real conversation. Yeah, is it better or not? I mean, trust me. For me at that time, yeah, it would have been better if, because you know how fun it is for you. I mean, I won't say fun. It's not fun for you to be doing what you do when you in the moment and it's exciting, and then they want to switch out and someone's like, all right, now switch condoms, and you got to be like, all right, give me a moment here. All right, there goes that one, and the next one. See, so what I'm digging is how long you doing this. This I'm digging. Everybody didn't notice how he's like. You know what I mean? Like after a while of, after the fifth time of, okay, I'm gonna put another one on. All right, and here we go, and here's the next one, y'all. Yeah. All right, showtime again. Like, after a while of that, I was like, fuck this, man. Fair enough. The second one, again. Did the women interact with each other? Yeah, they did. Which made me, when it get to a point of penetration, it's like, wait, y'all was just doing this, and this. Do y'all trust each other or not? And I didn't ask that, and I probably should have, but I didn't want to fuck up the mood because I was like, hey, threesome, first time. So they'll scissor, but they won't let you, but they made you wear a condom? Scissor, eat, tongue each other, all the crazy. And then when it came to penetration, oh no, I don't want to feel what she had. Switch out. Wait, what? Yeah, but you just had whatever. If you think she had something, it's in your mouth right now. So what the fuck, man? And the second one was just, again, and this was me dealing with someone that I was like involved with, and then the friend was like doing what she was doing to her, and she's like, you can't fuck her. And the friend is like, why not? And I'm like, yeah, why not? We're kind of here, like. So she canceled on it while she was there? Like no. We finished, but it was more so I couldn't penetrate the other friend, and I was like, oh, all right. So was it? Guess. So what? So she just slept with both people then? Yeah. She pulled a kind of a pillow princess, but I don't know. I don't even know what you call that. Kind of more of like how you explained it, like more of a reverse type of thing to that. So it was a thing where it was like, you can finger her, you can do this, you can do that, but you can't penetrate. And I was like Chappelle, bitch, all these rules. Like, so I think that's part of what just didn't make it fun for me. And so I've never had a good experience. And there might be someone in the world that likes me that wants to give me a better experience. But that was like your woman, but then that was her friend. Mm-hmm. Is that why? It's because she knew the chick? I think that's why. But I'm like, you knew that this is what was finna happen. Yeah, and I don't know. Did you have buyer's remorse at that point or something? Y'all chime in and let me know what y'all think. As far as this, when we talk about threesomes and whatnot, who do y'all think is supposed to pick the girl? So that's the major thing that can also be a concern. See, in my relationship, one of the things that we got into it was that I was supposed to make final decisions on anyone that we brought home. If he wanted to run out and flirt or whatever the case was, I should at least know who he's flirting with and give him the okay to continue whatever shenanigans he was out doing. Some people can take that kind of leeway and they can stick to those rules. Some people can't. Some people take that as a chance to go running off, doing whatever the hell they want to,
and it can make things very, very ugly. So rules, guys, follow the rules. Once you start doing threesomes and all that fun shit, yes, it's fun as fuck. I promise you it is, especially if you get the right people. But they let your woman pick the woman. Except in situation. I mean, not if she pick her friend. If the homegirl pick her friend, if she picks her friend, either she's fucking her friend, or I'm dead serious. Either she's fucking her friend,
come on with it.
Or she's just really trying to test you to see that some shit is gonna still turn out to be some kind of an argument. No woman actually just picks their friend for they dude to fuck on. It's not gonna happen like that. There will be something where they want y'all to leave the house, go find somebody random, somebody that she ain't gotta look at her face every day, somebody that she ain't gotta worry about coming back in her life, staying in touch with her man, somebody like that. It's not, a woman's not gonna just pick her homegirl. So if the homegirl for some reason is involved in some shit, then it's some shit where they was already fucking or about to, or it's some shit where it's really a test for you just to see where you and that homegirl lie, and you're probably gonna wind up in trouble. So pick somebody else. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. Just let me know. Like I said, I've done a few things. The friends and the homegirls I picked, I met in these scenarios. We met in these groups where that's specifically what we were into. If we were homegirls, we knew that's the fucking homegirl. That's my fucking homegirl. That's my fucking homegirl. Like there's a reason. There's a reason that we're like that. So that's what that's about. They're designated for that particular role in my life.
I should have went and searched out into them fields when it was going down. See, I didn't even know, there was a whole other world for that. Now I do.
I didn't either. Like I said, I found out late in life, and it took for me to date a man who act like a woman and he had titties. He was fat. He had titties. He act like a girl. I'm bisexual now. We'll talk about that on the next. But what do I know? Anyways, what does it say? He said, I pick the girls. Tutu says he picks the girls. And that's what's up. I'm like, but I'm pretty sure whoever you're with will have some kind of agreement. Like at some point, they're going to have to get along. And if the man picks the girl, give them a chance to get along. Give it time enough for them to get used to each other. Because no matter what, if they're not used to each other at least a little bit, then the shit's going to be whack. They're not going to want to touch each other. Women are still emotional creatures. So they're still going to move. And women can really be turned on and want to have sex with another woman very quickly if allowed time to get close to that other woman. So that's what I would say. Some men introduced and they expect people to throw off their trench coat, start fucking. It ain't like that, fellas. It's not like that. I would suggest they get to know each other at least one time, be around each other for at least an hour, a few minutes or something before.
It's definitely a build-up.
It is a build-up. If you expect the thing to come in and it's going to be the funnest shit ever, you fucking up life. I'm not trying to tell y'all how to have a threesome. I'm trying to tell you how to have a successful one. And there's a big difference. There is a really, really big difference. There's a lot of y'all who can probably fuck two people at once, but you can't do it well. And that's for the men and for the women. For the women who take on sleeping with two people at once, you should probably be bisexual, and you should probably be very good at either side, either pleasing men or pleasing women. You should probably be great at both because you don't know what role you're going to be asked to play. And
I should have made Rukus my threesome coach. It might have went better. It might have went better. I'm learning new shit about how this should go.
There's certain things to take in mind before you go into it. I'm just saying, it's really not that hard. Honestly, Don't go into it with somebody that you have feelings for like that, unless you both feel like that. There are a lot of couples who that's their shit, that's their gig, that's their vibe. They get together, they fuck on people together. That's what holds them together. That's what they do. It's fun for them. And if y'all those couples, hoorah, y'all is dope as shit. But for those who are not like that, and you may be like that and your partner's not, and in this town, there's a lot of that, guys. So for someone who's like myself, and I'm writing a book because I'm something like a unicorn that y'all don't even know about. It's y'all gonna find out. But anywho, it's a lot of y'all that don't do what they're asking for at home, and that's where the threesome part comes in. Some of y'all was asking whether or not a threesome is a good idea. It's a good idea if you are sound with your sexual capabilities in the bedroom. Now, if you think that you are not up to par in the head game, in the head department, if you think that your vagina, whatever your stick, whatever you got to bring to the table is not up to par, do not invite another party. Do not invite another party. That's the last thing you need is to see somebody fucking vacuum gag 3,000 nigga when you can't barely get his ass past your teeth, nigga. That's just not. That ain't what you want. That ain't what you want, because you know what you're definitely. I'm just saying. I'm one of the rules I had with my dude was no repeats, and that's kind of where we fell out because my girlfriends were repeats. far as randos, there were no randos. As far as it was randos, there were no repeats. As far as that goes, just because I'm not trying to deal with people catching feelings and all the dumb shit, you know what I mean? And I don't care if they was great as shit. Don't ever call that bitch again. And that's kind of just, those are the rules you kind of have to have. Whatever you did it, don't ever let me find out that you double back, because that's not part of the game. That's not how any of this goes. So have your rules.
What I'm hearing with each bit of it is it does sound like there has to be a bit of like detachment to whatever capacity it is. It has to be a bit of detachment, and I think it sounds to me a lot in most cases that's where it fails, is there's some part of attachment to this person, especially like even with mine, when I hear change condoms, or you can't do this with this person. It's like, there's some sort of attachment, whatever it may be, rather it be I don't trust the person, or I'm fucking with this person, or whatever. I'm hearing that's like a common theme, is there has to be some part where you're detached from it, and it can actually be you're aiming to please and all that, you know what I mean? So I'm learning bit by bit about this.
If you are not turned on, try a strip club first. Little shit like gateway threesomes. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people don't believe that there's such thing as gateway threesomes, and there are. For men, if you want to try a gateway threesome, take your woman to the strip club. Start there. You know what I'm saying? Start seeing what she looks like and how she responds to another woman pressing up on her, to another woman grinding on her in a sexual manner, and trying to see how she responds to that. If she's completely repulsed, you can miss that, bro. Because these are supposed to be, Colorado, I just don't fucking know, but these are supposed to be some of the baddest women ever. You know what I mean? So that should be somebody who is definitely able to entice your woman, because that's what their whole job is. So if she's not turned on by what's in front of her, then she's probably not turned on like that. Or she wants a stud.
Damn.
Or she wants a stud. And that could be interesting too. Stud threesomes or something different. Like, I don't know. I have had one girl tell me she tried to pull out a strap. I don't know. I'm too boyish for that. Like, I couldn't do it. I almost laughed. I think I did laugh. I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna go back and ask my friend if I laughed. I think I laughed.
Shit.
But anyway, she was like, I want to fuck you with this, and I just started dying. Guys, I lacked the maturity to be pegged. I can't do it. I can't fucking do it. I'm like, that's another episode we'll talk about some other time on the What Do I Know podcast. Rukus's fear of pegging.
Now, I will say, like, right now I'm in my prime of sex where I'm like on some whole other shit. Like, my desire to please is out of this fucking world right now. So I be, doing shit with y'all that I had the threesomes with. You should have caught me right now in this prime where I got, vibrating penis rings with bunny ears on them that make you just splash all over. Like, I'm on some whole other shit right now where, I don't need breaks no more. It's like, I changed my diet. So, a couple minutes and I'm like, hey, we back at it again. So I need y'all to understand, you should have caught me in this fucking prime. I don't care about having no threesomes no more. But, this would have been the best prime to catch me in. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh my God. That is hilarious. So I don't know how much. I'm going to share this really quickly. So each week, guys, we're going to have we got 2 new segments. We're going to do advice, but we also going to have random break-ins, and we do a lot of art in the community. Like, I rap, I write, poetry, he raps. He does all sorts of shit. Like, I'm not even going to stop at just raps. I dare not put this man in just that box. So, but all that to say, we'll be breaking into random things that we do because it just happens to go with what we're talking about. But I'm going to give y'all a quick couple of lines from a poem because it's relevant to this next purpose of the threesome. Do not participate in threesomes if the person really likes you or your partner enough to think that they can spend the night. If it's not a smash and gas kind of situation, then their ass can't come. Like, that's real talk. Like, no matter what the situation is, whether it's y'all meeting up at a hotel, whether they're coming to your house, whether y'all going wherever, it should be a smash and dash situation. So if you going to them, smash dash. They coming to you, smash gas. Either way, get your ass the hell out of there. Nobody is staying the night, and there's a reason for that. Again, emotions, people. It's different to wake up next to people. There's one thing about fucking somebody and then falling asleep. It's one thing to see the person that you love roll over and fuck somebody. Now, I promise you, it's a different kind of thing to take into your head. When y'all went to bed, you might have been a little bit inebriated. You might have been okay with whatever, and you was cool. You might have slept that off. You might not be prepared for that in the morning to wake up and all of that washes off and the chick's still there. He's rock hard morning, whatever. They was up before you. It's fair game because she's still there. I promise you, it is a different kind of feeling to watch your nigga fuck another bitch first thing in the morning. If you ain't ready for it, don't invite it in to your life. I'm just trying to let you know. Now, as far as for the people that try to spend the night, because it's happened. This is a poem for y'all, real quick. Hey, I only wanted to fuck you. No strings attached, especially none to your heart. See, this was not meant to be one of those getting feelings involved kind of arrangements. Now, it was fun doing strange shit. Playing pick a hole, any hole game in every room from the attic to the basement. Sweat running down faces. Screams only silenced by breathlessness. We got here because of your restlessness. See, you're the one that said that you were bored. Said you wanted a woman more forward that for once would take charge of the situation, but now here you are complaining because I don't want to bask in the aftermath of your presentation. And now you want to engage in these meaningless conversations. And yeah, blah, blah, blah. Nigga, I don't care how your day went. Yes, that shit's harsh. But I'm not trying to be your lover, your confidant, your wifey, or your partner. There's no need of you telling me all your problems when I don't plan on being around to help you resolve them. I can, however, help you find your shoes and your hat, your coat, whatever else you brought inside. There's your phone. There's, what is that? And I think that right there, that's the rest of your pride. Now, good night. Farewell. Avita Zane. Buenas noches, I bid you adieu. Get out, kick rocks, my friend. Chuck the deuce. Hasta luego. Arrivederci. Sayonara. See you later. We'll hit you up the next time we're getting horny. And the call will probably be coming somewhere between 11:30 and 1 in the morning. Now, stop stalling. Move a little sluggish with gathering your stuff. You gave us some dick and you gave me some good night dick, and that's really quite enough. Now, perhaps I should explain myself because you'd be tearing up. It's not the fact that I don't care about you. The fact of the matter is I only give a fuck. Thank you. Thank you. That is my random poetry outbreak with people who think they can stay the night. Now, all that to say, guys, we're back on threesomes. Like I said, it was gonna be random. Are threesomes a good idea? They're great for friends. They're great for companions. Lovers? No, unless you're not lovers of threesomes. No, unless your woman is bisexual. No, unless you have both agreed to the party who is showing up in the bedroom. No, unless she is comfortable right up until the actual moment you guys are doing anything, and possibly during. Again, no spending the night. What else can I say with that? No pillow princesses. Don't bring anybody to the party who's really just trying to eat all the refreshments. Or not trying to eat all the refreshments. Whatever. Pun intended.
Everybody got their cup, but they ain't chipped in type motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Don't bring them to the party because the shit looks weird. And so there's that. Fellas, that's your heads up. If your woman is asking for a threesome and they suggest their friend, there's probably already either fucking or about to anyway for that friend. Women, if your man suggests a threesome and he... well, yeah, if he suggests a threesome, just if you're not bisexual, tell him no. That's all I can say.
Don't do it because you don't. I promise you, and I've seen this a lot, and I'm sure you've seen it a lot. Don't do the shit because you feel like you want to keep this man or try to please him. If it's some shit you're not comfortable with, you ain't never gonna get comfortable with it.
It ain't gonna keep you.
You know what I mean? And it ain't gonna keep them. Also,
it won't.
Don't take no gas station sex pills, okay? Go to Fashion Nation, one of them little sex
stores. But they work really good. There's some that work really good.
Get you them professional joints at one of them. I promise you, fellas, I done it before. I don't know if I can do it now because I got these stents in my heart and shit. So, but you know what I mean? Like, I've done them before as far as the Fashion Nation spots go. All night. Like a fucking trooper. Just be careful with the cheap gas station ones. Because you got to drink a lot of water, get you a fucked up headache and everything the next month. I know I know a little stuff. I done a couple things.
The rules of threesomes, gotta love it. Yeah, I guess definitely take something, because don't be coming in there half-cocked. Mm-hmm. That's no pun intended. I mean it. Don't come in there half-cocked. So, let's see. What is this? Tutu's laughing. I'm serious. That's just not okay. All right. One thing. Oh. You little dick niggas. We gonna talk about it. I almost left this segment. We gonna talk about it. Little dick niggas, you can't have threesomes. We gonna talk, I'm sorry. If you are someone who is of the extremely small penal team, you cannot have threesome. You can't. I'm sorry. There is no way that you can have threesomes. You are already someone who has to put women at awkward positions for them to feel you, which is hard to incorporate someone else into the bullshit. Not to say you guys aren't good in bed. You just can't have threesomes. You don't deserve them. Little dick men don't deserve threesomes.
I was going to do the Cardi B thing.
No, I'm kidding. No, everybody does. Everybody deserves love. Doesn't matter how big you are. Big, small, whatever. It doesn't matter. All shapes, sizes, everybody actually does. It just, Again, don't. We're gonna get back on topic.
You don't deserve love. We said you don't deserve threesomes.
Yeah, you definitely deserve. Everybody deserves love. It's not everybody deserves threesomes. Again, if you don't eat pussy, ma'am, you don't deserve a threesome. This is not. This is not to attack anyone's. But this is. I'm letting your ass know you do not deserve it. No. Because it's not going to be good. You're going to make it a bad experience for everyone else, and no one else is going to do anything because of you. It'll be your fault. You made it bad.
Yeah, see, I can separate that myself from that because clearly multiple people thought I was worthy of a threesome. No, so
if you're a woman sitting there thinking I just might be bi-curious, I'm just not trying to eat no pussy, bitch, stay out the bedroom. Don't come in here. Don't bring her.
Yeah, it's got to be all
my guy.
Shenanigans.
I know my guy's looking at this. Don't bring that bitch.
It's got to be all shenanigans. Don't bring no.
We ain't having it. We're not having it. These pictures are killing me. Where did you find all these pictures of like?
What the? It fits though, which is hilarious.
This is funny as shit. All right, but anyways, y'all, I don't see any questions. I don't see any of them on there. For those who are wondering or asking, yes, I'm not saying this because I've done one or two threesomes. I have been with a few of the baddest women in this city. Actually, I'm not gonna put them on blast. I would never. But yeah, there's a lot of people actually who actually are into women and men. There's a lot of bisexual people in this city that don't talk to each other, and they just, it's a very trusted group and trusted circles, and they all kind of move within each other and whatnot. So in this town, there's a lot of people who knows who's who. We know who unicorns are. We know who some of the men are who are bisexual. We definitely know some of the men who are down low because, you know, they try to do things with other men and another female. So I have actually been approached a couple of times by men wanting me to join them with another man by people in this town. Y'all waiting on this book. This is gonna be dumb. Anyways, so you know what hell, we gonna talk about it. But all that to say, there's a lot going on. Threesomes normally come from something that is lacking in the bedroom somewhere. FYI. So it's some kind of excitement, something lacking somewhere where they're trying to find an extra body without having to leave you, but still fix that problem. So I noticed when I was with someone that when I'm with him, he's more physical with her. He liked to actually, he would slap or he would choke or he would do things to her that he would never do to me out of respect, so to speak. But he may not respect this other chick, so he's gonna fuck her a little bit different than what he would with me. And those are other things that you also have to look at, that your man, there's some things that men want to do that they really stifle their behavior when they're with you, because you might be a woman who can't handle that. You're a woman who can't handle what some of y'all women can't take all the dick, as some men like to complain about that. Some of you women are women who don't, like I say, you don't have good head. Some men want to do anal and you don't do anal. So they're going to find somewhere to try to fix these things without leaving you. And sometimes a threesome is a possible cure to trying to help that and help your relationship. Now, if you're okay with fixing your relationship by supplementing it with someone else, then yes, a threesome is a good idea. Otherwise, if a threesome comes up as a topic and you weren't into it, then you might want to start asking some questions on where you're slipping up and how you can improve on what you're doing in the bedroom.
Also, I would like to say real quick, learn the difference between something that just doesn't work for you and whether or not you're a fucking prude. Because I'm learning bit by bit, like, some people think I can't be approached with certain things because they're like, nah, you just don't seem like a type person that's into that. Like, and I can say this, if it involves another dude, no, I'm not. I'm not knocking anyone who does. That's all you. If it involves another dude, no. If it involves two women, yeah, absolutely. I'm not gonna lie, I'm an exhibitionist. I got a weird thing with me, and it's not a weird thing with me, not no more. I don't give a shit. I like fucking in places where there's a high risk of you getting caught. I don't know why. It's just something I like. The adrenaline from that is like, yep. But that's me. Like,
see, I laugh in the face of the sex offender list.
Yeah. Hey, is this you? Hey, what are you guys doing here? Huh? Me and her was just, and you know, I didn't want to be in the house. We was just in the alley behind my garage.
My dick went flat. I asked her to blow it up.
So it's just learn your boundaries, learn what you do and don't like, and I think that'll help you kind of get through the process of a threesome, is knowing how far you're willing to go and how far you're not willing to go, and have that set up before it goes down so everyone knows what they're getting themselves into. Me personally, and I'm sure Rukus can say the same, be with all the bullshit when it comes to a threesome for me. Like, if for some reason I ever go into a threesome, be with all the bullshit.
Yeah, pretty much. It is a no holds barred kind of situation. I'm saying no holds and no holes. HOLDS, HOLES, barred situation. Y'all need to just be ready that it could be something that you never know. Like I said, be open to it. Like, no pun intended. Like, it is what it is. That's what you're there for, to fulfill for fantasies. Threesomes are not the time for prudeness. And like, again, if you fuck around and be a prude in a threesome, the other person gonna show your ass out, and you gonna look like a damn fool. You gonna look like a damn fool.
It happened in the first one. One person was like, "I'm done. I'm tapping out," and the thick one was like, "Not me." And I was like,
said the thick one.
Yeah, there was the curvy one. She wasn't as thick, and then there was the thick ass one. Okay. So when this one was like, "I'm tapping out. I can't no more," the other one was like, "Not me," and I was like, "I got this motherfucker now, boy." That was the fun part of it. When one tapped out, first of all, I was happy somebody tapped out. Like, what? I knew I had it. I had it in me. But then the other one was like, "I'm not tapping out. Come on." I was like, "Yep."
I know that's what it is. She said some men put an hour and a half. That's it. Shit, man's got to put in overtime. The media get off. You know, as we come to a close, I wish we had like some super serious music set in. This show is retarded. All right, wait, check this real fast. I feel like you agree you can't go into it with rules. That is true. Like there really aren't any rules. Like some people say, you know, like I said, the only rule that I had when we was doing things that if you gonna finish, don't finish in the chick, because we don't need the extra problems of the babies and the bullshit afterwards. Everything else had to be something where we were willing to figure it out. Usually it would start with protection, but I mean, the shit gets interesting. If you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. Everybody got to get tested. All this fun stuff, the aftermath. You have to be ready for all the aftermath of threesomes. Like, guys, this shit's no joke. Like, if you're going to do it anyway, you still be prepared that you still going to have to go get tested. Regardless of whatever the fuck happened, everybody be ready to go get tested or whatever the fuck, before and after,
definitely,
to make sure that everybody is still on the cool, because Denver is still a very small pool, and whether y'all know it or not, trust me,
some of y'all,
a lot of people's fucking the same people.
Yeah,
trust me.
And
I done fucked a lot of y'all's girlfriends. I done fucked a couple of y'all's men. I'm just saying. It is not a good look.
I could say I'm comfortable with that type of shit, because. And I know I joke on social media all the time when I say my dick bougie. No, my dick really is bougie. I get tested 4 times out of the year, even when I'm not getting sex. Every 3 months, I go get tested for blood work, and it's everything across the board. So when I say my dick is bougie, my dick really is bougie. Now, of course, if I'm dealing with you just on some casual shit, I'm going to still use condoms. But if we get to a point where we trust one another, I can move like that, because, again, my dick really bougie, and I really do get tested 4 times out of the year, because I want to make sure ain't nothing going on.
A toxic attraction to Virgos and Cancers. Like, god damn it! Like, I just if that's pretty much the problem for me. Like that's like, man, if I could stay the hell away, stop meeting all the Virgos and the toxic ass Cancers, then I would be cool. But I myself am a toxic ass Cancer, so fuck them. Let's say it is power to the people and all that fun shit. All right, y'all. So I think we're coming up on time, so we'll go ahead and get wrapped up. I think y'all know all the points for threesomes. I hope I don't gotta run bullets for y'all. I hope you've been paying attention to some of this. Some of y'all wrote it down. Some of y'all who asked this question tuned in, so I'm glad you did, because I was hoping that you wouldn't ask me this question and have the nerve not to see what the answer was. So hopefully you know whether or not you would like to do your threesome. If you do have any more questions and you don't want to be on blast, feel free to hit me up. I'm not gonna put you out there like that. I'm happy to answer these questions for you. And yeah, guys, I did go to school for things that we're talking about. Like, I'm not just some random random hoe just talking about shit. I have a reason I can discuss these things, but I don't need to get into all my accolades on my podcast. But anywho, I want to thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of a What Do I Know podcast. Men, I want y'all to know where to jump in, whether it be in fights or in the bedroom. Women, I want y'all to know where to jump in, whether it be in fights or in the bedroom. So, make sure y'all come back next week. We'll be here talking about, the violations. Y'all be on that bullshit. We're going to talk about it next week. We're going to talk about working for exposure.
We not working for a motherfucker. We not doing shit. We say this all the time, and I know we got to get up out of here, but we don't do shit for free or exposure at this age. We have houses, we have mortgages now. Don't none of that fucking exposure pay our bills. You understand what I'm saying?
Unless it's a threesome. Depending on who's putting it on film. Thanks for tuning in for What Do I Know podcast, y'all. Make sure y'all come back next week.
All right.
Peace. Peace. Love y'all.
Mental health, man. Like, I mean, let's start with, us as men, and we taught that we ain't supposed to get our emotions out or be able to keep, talk stuff out. We're taught to keep everything in, or we feel like it's proper to hold stresses in and hold different things that's going on with us in. We need to talk about that stuff. We need to find friends, find loved ones, find people to let them know, like, what's actually going on, what we feeling. Your feelings are real, you know what I mean? It's important that we know and we're in control of those emotions and feelings, and we're able to actually talk it out with someone. So don't feel like to be a man, you gotta be tough. You gotta hold it in. It's not okay to cry. Nah, it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel. That's the biggest thing.
Once we are at a place where we can actually unite and co-create, we are limitless. We are the most powerful source on the planet, and we must really tie into our innate nature and our natural ability to lead. We are the kings and queens of the planet.
Yeah, I want to say save every dollar that you can as early as you can so that you can buy a house when you get out of high school. That's going to be extremely valuable for you with equity and things like that, and open up doors of opportunity to do whatever you want instead of having to answer to anybody else. Your job is not to make sure everybody else is happy or comfortable. It's to make sure that you're okay in everything that you do and put yourself first, because then you can take care of the people that you care about the most.
Mental health, man. Like, I mean, let's start with, us as men, and we taught that we ain't supposed to get our emotions out or be able to